Hello and welcome to Angry Andy Reviews, and before we get into the video, I just want to thank you all for your patience. I've had a bit of a difficult time at home over the last couple of weeks. Some things have been going on, so that's why a couple of these reviews and videos are a little bit late in the day, but we'll crack on. Thank you very much for your support. Hope you enjoy the video.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy. Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
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 Don't make me destroy you.
Hello and welcome to Angry Andy Reviews, and this is my belated review for Venom: The Last Dance. As I mentioned, a little bit of an intro there. It's been a while getting to this review, getting around to seeing this film in general, to be fair, just due to the amount of things that have been going on at home, but, you know, it is what it is. We'll crack on, like I said. So, here we are with Venom: The Last Dance, and I'm not a fan of the previous Venom films. It has to be told, it has to be said, so I'm not going to hold back with this one either. And I will say right off the bat that I think this film is absolutely dreadful. I think it's an awful mess in terms of story, writing, characters, the amount of needless, pointless people in this film, the plot conveniences. My word, these Sony knockoff Spider-Man films, I'm going to call them that. These Sony knockoff Spider-Man films are just dreadful. Absolute dreadful nonsense. None of them have been any good at all. I mean, we've got another one coming, haven't we? What is it, Kraven the Hunter? Who gives a fuck at this point? To be quite honest with you, who really gives a fuck? This film is absolutely dreadful. It starts off with where we left off with Venom: Let There Be Carnage, which again was utterly dreadful, just a mess. And Eddie Brock and Venom are in the MCU universe. They got pulled through, if you remember. And, you know, we're there. He's talking to a barman. He makes a drink using his Venom abilities, which scares the barman. And then he's pulled back into the Sony Spider-Man universe. So what was the fucking point? We don't even bother with any of it. So that's fucked off. Great, brilliant, superb writing. Thanks very much for that. And immediately we are made aware that Eddie Brock is being hunted by every law enforcement agency in the world because he killed that guy that you can't remember. So yeah, and the only law enforcement agency we see actually chasing him at any point in this film is this covert, secret military organisation based at Area 55 that's taking over Area 51 for reasons, and the triteness just starts to trickle through immediately. It's like bad caramel just leaking from every orifice in this movie. It leaks through, it's sticky, it's just a mess. And immediately we're introduced to numerous characters. Chiwetel Ejiofor plays the lead commander of this film. You will have seen him, you will know him from the film Serenity. Great film, great performance by him in that. And you will have known him from 12 Years a Slave. You will also know him as being Baron Mordo from the Doctor Strange movies. And here, he has even less to do in this fucking film than he did in the Doctor Strange film. His abilities are absolutely fucking wasted on this piece of shit film. Juno Temple's in there from that TV show that everybody loves. I can't remember what it's bloody called. Ted Lasso, is it? Yeah, I mean, I watched all of that. And she's great in that. She has nothing to do in this film. She just mopes around as a confused scientist trying to do whatever the fuck she's trying to do. And then there's another scientist lady in there that's just should have been just a conglomeration of Juno Temple's character. There's fuck me, Stephen Graham's in here again, who's supposed to be the guy that's dead, but is not dead, clearly enough. And he's wasted. He does nothing. He does absolutely nothing. He just sits in a prison, says some stuff, and dies. What the? Who the fuck wrote this? Who wrote this film? It's an absolute bonkers mess of just dreadful writing. We even have Reese Ifans in there, a brilliant actor who we've seen in House of the Dragon, playing a fucking brilliant part in that show. Meaty dialogue, meaty performances, and here he's just a secondary, pointless hippie character in a van driving his family to go and see some aliens. And as soon as you see them in this film, you go, well, they're going to be the people that need to be saved at the end of the film, aren't they? And yes, of course, that is exactly what happens.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
They end up getting in the way. They say nothing meaningful. They do a weird fucking sing-along to a David Bowie song, which is fucking egregious in its own right, because it does nothing. There's no emotional impact in using this fucking David Bowie song. There's no rhyme or reason. It goes on for too long. It's dreadful. It's cringy. And you're left thinking, why are we here? What is this? What is going on at all? And I'll get to even more cringiness in a moment, but there are so many plot conveniences in this. Eddie's on the run, he's on a plane. The whole premise of this film is, if him and the Venom symbiote go full Venom, then this strange, ethereal, edge-of-the-universe villain called Null, whose face we don't see, and we don't see virtually fuck all of him at all. He's pointless at this point. If they go full Venom, then that will activate something called the Codex, which they've ripped off from Superman Man of Steel, because just the Codex exactly the same. Kal-El had the Codex inside him. Venom's got one too. Great, cool. And if they go full Venom, it activates the Codex, which makes Null aware of where they are, and then they'll send these big tentacly rampaging creatures that are like tree cutters. They just swallow you and spit out all of you behind you. And then, if they get the Codex, then Null will be released and the universe will end. Except we don't do anything with that. It's all just superfluous fucking nonsense words coming out. This is what will happen if it does. Alright, okay. We don't see any evidence of his ability to do all this shit, because he's been locked in a prison for eternity. So we have no connection to this. There's no sort of like, oh fucking hell, we saw Thanos trying to do his, create his wares. We saw him, sending armies to try and destroy the Earth to get the Tesseract and all this. No, we don't get any of that. It's just there's some dickhead sat in a prison going, well, if I'm released, I'll do this. Yeah, sure you will, mate. Shut the fuck up and sit down. Your tea's on the way, and you'll get 5 minutes in the yard in a minute. It's fucking ludicrous. It's stupid. We have no connection to this villain at all. We don't see anything of him except his little fucking minion devil creatures that, when they get blown up, they come back together. Oh, great. And he goes full Venom a few times in this movie. And miraculously, these creatures are able to hone in and get there immediately. They can jump thousands of meters with no issue. They can run thousands of miles and get there in no time with no issue. All semblance of tension is fucking gone in this film. And even with Eddie, when he's just on the run in the middle of nowhere, he's on a plane trying to get away. One of these creatures comes and he drops to the earth in the middle of fucking nowhere. He lands in the middle of the desert somewhere. We don't even know where he is at this point. We've got no semblance of where he is at this point. He's trying to get to New York. We don't know where the fuck he is. And they've added in this family to say, oh, well, we're going to Area 51. So we get an idea that vaguely he might be in Nevada somewhere. And then when he's running in the middle of nowhere, immediately a fucking helicopter comes with Chiwetel Ejiofor and his fucking goon squad. How the fuck did they know he was there? The conveniences are so absurd. Absolutely absurd. We even get to a point where Eddie and Venom end up in Las Vegas, and at this point, in my head, I knew something was wrong. I knew this film had reached a dead end in terms of how they would be able to find him, because Eddie and Venom come to an agreement not to go full Venom, to keep everything quiet, to keep themselves hidden. And they go to Las Vegas, nobody knows they're there, some camera spots them, but nothing ever happens with that, even though earlier on in the film we see a camera spot them and this fucking mercenary group come immediately. No, they don't fucking bother this time, because plot. And they go to a casino, then they go to a hotel, they find some woman that was in one of the previous films, again, couldn't remember who the fuck she is, great, belting, she was clearly that important, and clearly that necessitated to be in this film. And for some fucking bizarre reason, Venom decides, oh, you know what, fuck it, we'll have a dance, I'll go full Venom and we'll do a dance, immediately exposing them to these massive fucking eviscerating creatures, knowing full well that if they did that, they would be found. So, in my mind, that is where the writers realised they've got no way that Venom already would ever be found if they didn't have this dance sequence in, because they've written it to a point where they have nowhere else to go, because quite clearly Venom and Eddie decided we'll never go full Venom again, so nobody will ever find them. Fucking brilliant. Really brilliant. These creatures would never find them, so the only reason that they went full Venom is to progress the fucking film that little bit further, to make it work, because it doesn't work, because it's a piece of shit mess. Oh my word. And it doesn't get any better there. We get a big major action sequence where all the symbiotes are released and they're all fucking useless. They're all absolutely useless. They're all the different colours, yellow, blue, pink. The Power Rangers are there, but they're fucking shite. They get fucking eaten by these fucking creatures, and at certain points we're supposed to feel something. Like, I don't give a flying fuck about any of these characters. I don't care about any of these symbiotes, because we're not being told anything about them. We don't see anything about them. They're just there and they get eaten. The contrivances, the conveniences just overwhelm this film. The Reese Ifans character, is in the way. He gets in a van with his family, drives away. The next scene he's there with a bazooka blowing up one of these creatures, and then the next scene he's driving away again. What the yo-yoing of characters in this film is absurd. It's just fucking egregious. Why?
Blind, stupid, simple, doodah, clueless.
Good God. Dreadful film. Really dreadful. I can't recommend it at all. And it was touch and go whether I'd actually see this film while it was in the theatres. And I wish I hadn't bothered. I really do, because I didn't like any of the previous things, and that's the thing to note. If you didn't like the previous ones, there is nothing in this film that will give you anything new, give you anything better. They try to pull on our heartstrings, saying, "Oh, we've been through so much together, me and you," and then in the same breath they go, "Well, it's only been a year. We've only been Venom and Eddie for a year. All right, okay. Well, you've gone through, Oh, wow, okay, cool. I mean, a lot can happen in a year. A lot's happened to me in a year. But don't try and fucking push this as something, monumental when it's fucking a fart in the wind. There's nothing monumental about this film. It doesn't feel like the final film in a movie. And I don't know about any after credit stuff because I couldn't be arsed. I just wanted to get out of there. The dance sequence in the fucking Vegas hotel was a point where I was like, I'm fucking done. I'm absolutely done. I was done at the Bowie song as well. I love David Bowie, and you fucking... he would have been like, why are you using my song in this piece of shit? My word. But there you go. A truly dreadful film. Yes, I know this review is very late to the party. Everybody's forgot about it already, and that's the thing. You will forget about this film immediately. There's other things that happen in this film that I can't remember because I zoned out. In an hour and a half movie, there's a lot of waffle, there's a lot of walking, there's a lot of nonsense dialogue, there's very little of anything going on with the side characters. There's just too many people in this film. There's too many characters, there's too many symbiotes. Null is a vapid, pointless character. If you took him out, you wouldn't give a shit. Brilliant. What the fuck is the point? Hopefully we don't get any more.
Cause let's face it, baby, these days, you gotta have a sequel.
Like I said, I don't know what the after credits do, if they do anything. I don't care at this point. I hope they don't do any more. I hope Tom Hardy moves on to something else and does something better, because his abilities are completely wasted on this franchise as well. I know it's a labour of love, but give it up. It's fucking shit. So there we go. Terrible movie. And that's me done with this. So, if you enjoyed this review, please do give it a like. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews like this. I did, a couple of days ago, release a review on the Green Goblin Hasbro helmet, the role-playing helmet that came out. That was a lot of fun. That was more fun than this entire fucking film, to be fair, and I paid more money for it. So yeah, I'll check that review out. Like I said, give this video a like, leave a comment. What are your thoughts on this film? What do you think about it? Are you happy to see the end of Venom like I am? And yeah, subscribe to the channel for more reviews like this. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.